scooping it up and down, and I apologize, and I say to these eye doctors, I said, my wife's been bugging me, you know, I got these things, and I said, you know, the problem is I broke them. He said, so one of the eye doctors takes out this basket, and he had about 200 pairs of glasses. Well, here you are. And so I went home and told my wife, and my wife said, you don't need, that's okay, I won't bug you anymore. So if the doctors do it, that's good too. Okay, and so how many of you came here because not only the food, but you might want to, maybe you can pick up something. Anybody? There you go. Well, that's great. I hope I do. We're going to have fun tonight. It's going to be different. And you probably already recognize some differences. First is, actually, some of you that know me probably have never seen me look like this because I usually dress up every single day. And like I said, I become a little relaxed and fit in and everything. And when you usually come to, well, that's my next question. How many of you have been to a financial seminar before? A lot of you. That's good. This one's going to be different. Why is it going to be different? Well, I'm not wearing my $500 suit and my $200 shoes and $100 cufflinks and my beautiful tie. I'm just relaxed. And those of you who know me probably know that I wouldn't pay that much for a suit and tie and clothes anyhow. But that being said, yeah. And the second thing is, you notice no big screen up here. There's no LCD projector and everything. Another thing that's going to be different is, you know, a lot of times you go to these financial seminars and your head is spinning with fancy charts and this and that, and by the end of it, you're like, well, what is he or she really saying? And you almost feel obligated just to go and meet the person just because that's the only way you can figure out what they're doing, or you maybe feel guilty about the food that they brought you. I don't want you. By the way, in your folder, there's a couple things. First is a little bio about me and my firm, Himmelstein Financial. I don't know if I introduced my associates, Peter Bigelow. Todd Bigelow. Excuse me, I'm looking at Peter and Todd. Okay, I have Colin Fletcher and my friend at the front is Roger Furlan. And like I said, Himmelstein Financial with a financial supermarket with advice. And the other thing that we're going to be different than all those other seminars is by the end of this workshop, you're going to know exactly what we do. And if you want to do it, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. And with that, we have also my FINRA record. Now, somebody in the securities field, like myself, we have a resume that follows us for the rest of our life. And that's the FINRA report. You could go and Google it and say FINRA broker check, and you can find out about any financial advisor. So if that person's a 30, you know what, or whatever the words might be, you would know it, you would see customer complaints, etc. My only hit on the FINRA report was in 1987, when the stock market was crashing. I was with a firm that was not doing something totally up and up, and they got sued, and they brought everybody down with it. And I was trying to fight for my clients, and the firm fired me. And if you go look at my FINRA broker check, you'll see that they found me not guilty of anything, but I still got to carry it for the rest of my life. I'll go to my grave with it. It's the way it is. And you'll notice that I don't have one license like some of those people. I don't just have my Series 7. I have my Series 7 for 24, 65, 63. I keep going on. And that's just in the securities field. I mean, we are scrutinized by not only the securities of FINRA, but we're also scrutinized, since I'm a registered investment advisor, by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now also, some of you know me, I have a number of other licenses and some professional degrees. Unfortunately, or unfortunately, I don't know how it is, I always think it's unfortunate for me, I have to go, I can count up at least 40 to 60 hours of continuing ed every year just to keep my licenses or to keep for compliance, etc. So I'm very scrutinized, so a little different than a lot of the other people. And one of those licenses is Series 24, which means I supervise all those financial planners that get up and do those fancy shows and make sure that they do things the right way. And I also do continuing ed for my industry. So, with that, okay. So, in my folder, like I said, I'm Himmelstein, at Himmelstein Financial, the financial supermarket advice. We are now starting our 36th year, and I'm not by myself. I have 5 people in my office, and that's the hardest part, by the way. You know, you can have a business, but running a business today, a small business, you have employees, and I'm very blessed. I have some really good employees. It took me forever to get great employees, but I have them. And we have many, many different things, but today we're going to be very focused when we talk about safe money and retirement money, and tell you a little about my family. You know, I am a West Hartford native. I wasn't born here. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore. When I came up to Connecticut, people would say, "What country are you from?" And I said, "I'm from Baltimore, Maryland." "What do you mean, what country?" And then they'd say, "Well, what do you mean, Baltimore?" I said, "You know, land crab, get away, get away." No, soft shell, no, hard shell crabs. Not the things that are bugs, you know, crabs, you know. And people didn't know what they are up here. I mean, really, I don't know if anybody's been down to Baltimore, but if you ever get a chance to go down there, or Virginia, go try the crabs. They're really good, unless you keep kosher or anything like that. And I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful wife named Lauren Himmelstein. My wife is an attorney, and she's in the court system, but please don't visit her at the court, because if you visit her at the court, you're a bad person, because she's in the criminal court. And, you know, I don't go visit her because I don't even be anywhere near it, and I love my wife. She's about to, is there any attorneys in here? None, okay. She's the only attorney I love and like. I mean, they're good people, but it's just not my type. But she's very unique, and I'm very blessed. We have 2, the other day I started crying when I did this. I have 2 wonderful sons. Not wonderful, they're the greatest or anything. They're very unique sons. They're both adopted. They're both from the Ukraine. One of them is born on one of the most famous days, and it's one of the most dreadful days to 98% of the public. And he's 14 years old, and I bet somebody could figure out what day that is. 9/11/2001. He's really blessed we have him. And my other son is 12 years old, and they're both in the West Hartford school system. Thank God, because I got to tell you, these kids need help, and they're doing very well. And we're very blessed. I mean, my oldest son plays trombones in the Boy Scouts, and he's an athlete. And the most unique part about him is if you look at this kid, and you look at me, or you look at my family, you go, "How'd you do it, Paul?" If you didn't know me better, you think I went over to Ukraine, found a woman, made some love to her, and then stole her baby, because he looks like a twin of my younger brother. I mean, unbelievable. And we were joined by the hip. So that's our family, whatever. Okay? It does. It's very neat. And the other one we got at 4½, and unfortunately, when we knew he was developing late, but what we didn't realize when he was 4½, that for 2 years we thought he was just a smart aleck, which he is. And he'd say, we didn't realize that he couldn't hear us very well. So it wasn't until 6½that we actually had an operation, and he wasn't talking then, and now you can't shut him up. Matter of fact, he has a nickname. You know what his nickname is? Squeaky. And he answers to it on top of it. It's really funny. And my kids, they look like Mutt and Jeff. The big guy is big, he's bigger than me, and the little guy's like this little guy, and we're only 2 years apart. Anyhow, they're very close. They're not natural brothers. We've got them at different times, and like I said, I'm very blessed. So, with that in mind, now, you're going to look around, and some of you after this are going to like me, and some are not. Usually about 60 to 70% of the audience likes us, and some of you don't, but that's okay. It's okay. We're not going to please all the people all the time, and I realize that. And once again, if you came just for the meal, that's okay too. And by the way, good meal. Please enjoy it or whatever. And so anyhow, you're going to have a response sheet you have in your folder. I'd like everybody to just take it out for a second. And I don't want you to have to worry about now and look at it and concentrate on it, but you're going to notice that some of you have your name right or wrong, and if it's wrong, sorry, we'll fix it, you fix it for us. But you'll see that there's 2 buttons there, or 2 boxes that you can check. One is yes, and one is no. And I'm going to make a promise, unlike all those other financial planning seminars. If you check no, we promise, we are not going to bug you, we're not going to call you, we're not going to send you information, or anything like that. However, if you say yes afterwards, my people will help schedule you, and you will know, like I said, by the end, you'll know exactly what we do. And if you want to do, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. So don't worry about the response sheet other than, and also, I mentioned about questions. We gave you paper within the folder to write down your questions because I don't want you to forget about them. No, this is not going to be prevented and I'm going to answer them. But if you so desire to come see us afterwards, I don't want you to forget about it. It's important to everybody. So, with this in mind, we're going to start with our boards. Oh, my guys, I forgot something. My guys got to give out me some books so you can follow my. Oh, another housekeeping, please don't go far ahead because I don't want you to get lost. I'm not going to go that fast, but I don't want you to get lost. But yes, my guys are going to give out, they are guys, are going to give out some of these books. So, guys, take me there. So, let me ask you. Who's been to a bank recently? Anybody been to a bank? Bank, B-A-N-K. My accent's coming out again. My Baltimore accent. Bank. Yeah, everybody's going to a bank. Yeah. And you know, what's really amazing with banks, anyone looked at the, a lot of times they have this big sign, usually it's on the just like this, and it usually says their rates. Has anyone known the rates that they showed today of their savings? Anybody remember in the recent visits? Where do we go?
It's like 3.5.
0.25? Come on, it ain't that bad. 1%? Well, actually, you can find ones that might be 1%. And to find ones, if you really go after 5 years, 2%. And they call this certificates of deposit. Do you know what the real name of certificate of deposit is, or what a CD is? We call it certificate of depreciation. Why? The day you put that money in, it is not worth as much the day after. Why is that? What people don't realize, I mean, I was born at a very famous day. 5:55, believe it or not, at 4:59 in the morning. We'll round up to 5. I'm one of 5 boys, and my mother tried really hard to get a girl. She just couldn't do it, But I'm very blessed, and I'm a veterinarian son, and my father taught me the value of a dollar of working. Matter of fact, I had a job at 4 years old. And helping my father, and we all had to help my father. And you want to know something that I have that nobody has in here about experience? I cleaned up more dog poop in my first 5 years of my life than you probably have seen in your whole life. And it was fun though. It was a great guy, very unbelievable. I miss him dearly. So anyhow, the bank. The problem of having that money in the bank. And by the way, banks are necessary. I'm not damning them. They're necessary. You have to have an emergency fund. You got to get money. They process credit. They do a lot of things, and I'm not damning them. However, a lot of people go there because of safety layer. But the day you put that money in that bank, you've lost money. Why? There's something called inflation. I remember my first job out of college, I was making a big $10,500 a year in New York City. Could you imagine living off you can't live for a month for $10,500 a year in New York City, but I did. And they told me I had to leave my apartment the same way I found it, and I told them, I can't find as many roaches. I mean, And you know, I never saw this type of advertisement before, but they had advertisement for apartments. They said TIK. You know what that meant? Tub in kitchen. Only in New York. And they got away with it. And so, well, how's that related? Related is the rent was obviously lower then, and everything was lower then. You could buy a car at that time for probably less than $10,000, a Chevy or something, and it would work. It would actually work. You know, and it would probably work a long time. You know, they were very efficient. They would go, and they're very good. They don't have all the fancy stuff in there. And as you know, gas was way lower. I mean, like 87 cents a gallon. I know they're real low now because of the oil going up and down, but gas was. Housing, I mean, you know, you could buy a house. My first house I bought in Hartford was $87,000. And you can't buy even a condo in it. Well, maybe you can buy a condo in Hartford for $80,000. But in any case, inflation eats up. Now here is the biggest atrocity of it all. Is not only do you earn nothing in the bank on your money, but you got to pay taxes on it. That makes a lot of sense, you know. You earn 1%, and then you got to pay taxes on the 1%. So anyhow, banks do have a Now I'm going to ask somebody. Does anybody know how much? Oh, I do have it. What was the high in the Dow? Dow Jones Industrial Average, you know, biggest stocks.
17,
yeah.
18 something. Right?
Great. Are you a statistician? Are you a mathematician? Very good. Thank you, by the way. You know, and we've been noticing. You know, we are currently. I did this calculation before today, and today we had an up day. We had an up day yesterday. Then we had some down days and down days. And so the market goes up, and the market goes down, and the market goes up, and the market goes down. However, and we are currently, or we were this morning, at 16,000, where was it? Yeah, 16,697 it ended today. So we're not far off that high. You know, we're only about 9% off the high. And 9% sounds like a lot of money, and it is. It's not that much these days. I mean, we see in the market at times going 1–2% a day sometimes. It's unbelievable. And I was around, and I was licensed in 1987 when that market lost 508 points. But unlike now, 508 points when the Dow was where it was a much bigger percentage than what this is. I mean, it's like a casino. So once again, stocks go up, stocks go down, stocks go sideways, etc. So let me tell you what the experts say. And you probably can fill this in. And what do they say? Over time, the market outperforms everything. You've heard that, right? Hasn't everybody heard that? Okay? And they also say safety through diversification. And what, you know, now people's definition of diversification is a lot different than mine. A lot of people's attitude about diversification is that, you know, what you're supposed to say is some in bonds, some in stocks, and even when there are some in stocks, some in real estate, some in hard assets, some here, some there. But I've got a lot of people that bring in their statements, and they bring it to me, and I look at the statements, and the funny thing is that all the statements they have, they can't understand that they're well diversified. They might have 8, 10 different mutual funds or ETFs or whatever, but they all move in tandem. That's not what diversification is. It's not supposed to go all up at the same time or down at the same time. Because, well, one thing is doing one thing, another thing is doing another, as we see with oil right now. By the way, last couple of weeks, oil was crashing and the market was going down. Today, oil went and lost a lot again today, and the market went up. Who knows? You know? And by the way, that's going to cause a lot of ramifications of problems. Okay? And so the market goes down. So once again, experts say diversification. Experts always say buy stocks and mutual funds. And by the way, I am licensed. I'm licensed to do all kinds of different investments. I can do hard assets, real estate investment trusts. stocks, bonds, ETFs, managed money, etc. So I can talk to you about all that, but I don't want to talk to you about all that tonight. And another thing that everybody says is something is normal. Does anybody know what that is? Paying fees. Now, if it was in the real estate industry and you bought your house, how would you feel 8 years later that you had to all of a sudden pay another commission or a fee on that house that you bought it? You wouldn't. And I have a lot of trouble with fees. Why do I have trouble with fees? Because I went in this business to help people. And I got, you know, when there's no value given and fees are being charged, I just can't justify it. It just doesn't justify it. So some of you might have money with a broker and you're still being charged fees and the market's going down and you're saying, well, why am I paying that type of stuff? Okay, and then everyone loses money sometime. Has everybody heard that? Well, that's not necessarily so. You don't have to always lose money, and we're going to go through that. Now, another thing is that when you go to these financial planning seminars, often you think or you hear that it's great for everybody, and that people that are 30 years old should invest the same way as people who are 70-year-old. But I can tell you personally, as I'm 60 years young, that my attitude has changed completely about investing. For example, when I was 30, I realized that I still have many years left to earn money, and I might be able to afford it because I'm earning money. But when you start getting in your 60s or 70s or 80s, you might not have the capacity to earn money. So it's very hard to make up those losses. So the moral of the story is nothing is right for everybody, you know, and investing as a 30-year-old is not the same as investing as a 70-year-old. And as I get older, I've gotten more and more sick. Matter of fact, there's a rule of 100. Has anyone heard about the rule of 100? Thank you. Tell me. Okay, I'll tell you. You're supposed to take your age from 100. So in my case, I'm 60 years young. I hope it's young because I got a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. I know I got my clock a little long, but and you take it, and that equals 40. And that is the absolute maximum as a rule that I should have in risky type investments. And I bet you all can feel that right now because I bet you a lot of people are feeling it. And I'm sorry. Yes. If you take your age from 100, and that should be, so in my case I'm 60, and you take my 100 minus that would be 40, and that is the maximum you should have at risk to be risky. And of course, when you're 30, it's opposite. You can have as much as 70, and I'm saying that's the maximum. Some of you are going to have different attitudes. Some of you are going to have attitudes that, hey, I can't afford to lose anything. I don't want to lose anything. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, is save money. Okay, so those are some of the fallacies that some of the experts said. Now, I don't have a PowerPoint machine, but I have little props here. Everybody know what this is? Stop sign, okay? If you were, sometimes, I'm just going to make the motion, if you have a sign that has an X on it, what do you think that is?
Railroad.
Very good. Railroad, because it usually has R. Does everybody know what color it is? Yellow, black, white, etc. Okay. Well, let me ask you, an upside-down triangle, what is that as a sign?
Caution.
Caution, yield. Thank you very much. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, and this is somewhat of a trick question. What color is a yield sign?
White.
Yellow.
Red.
I can't believe it.
Yellow.
Okay, we have some different answers.
Orange.
No, you know, I got to tell you that stop signs, railroad signs, yield signs are federal signs. So what that means is the state can't just make up their own and do a different color. They have to do what every other state does. So I hate to tell some of you but a yield sign is red and white. Now, does anybody know what year it changed from, and sometimes it was yellow, by the way, but do you know when that changed? 1972. And so why is that related to this workshop at all? I get a little dry. Why is it related to this workshop at all? It's because the old things don't necessarily make sense for today. When I grew up, I remember my father taking me to the stock brokerage house, and we would watch the ticker tape go around, and it would take about 3 minutes to 5 minutes. I can't remember how much. So we could just see our stock. Now you can look on your little computer or your phone, and you can see it right away. It wasn't always that way. And my father's attitude, which worked for him, by the way, a very, very successful investor, was buy and hold. Well, now we see when you buy and hold, sometimes the holding goes down when you don't, and you're like, well, wait a minute, aren't I supposed to do that? So I'm going to take out my first board, and I believe now I got to turn it around because I have a bigger audience today. And hopefully, if you can't see it, we'll give you this. Does anybody know what this is? There you go. Somebody got it right. S&P 500. That's right. This is a line, and we're charting it from 1998 to 2015. And if we were to carry it on, we could carry it on 2016, but we only have 2 months. Now, I'm going to say something. From 1998 to 1999, you can see it went up, right? Yeah? It's not a trick question, by the way. This is an easy question. Okay. And did you make money? Well, maybe. Depends if you took some off the sidelines. Okay? And the next year it went up even more, which is great. So your 100,000 all of a sudden is 136,000. Did you make money? No. Unless you took it off. You didn't. Because probably right after 1999, you watched it go all the way down to 2002 to $78,000. That's a loss all of a sudden. And by the way, if you had managed money, did your broker ever call you up when it was up here and say, you need to take money out of the market now? Did anybody get a broker to do that? You got a good broker. Still alive? You have a great broker. Is this broker still alive, or is it you? Oh, what a shame. It's a good broker. There's not many of them out there, and I cherish anybody that was smart enough to take it off the table, okay? But you know what? Why do brokers not say that? Why don't they say take your money out of the market? They're getting paid. Thank you. That's right. They're still getting paid. And matter of fact, if you wanted to, and you wanted to buy an account from me, and I was charging fees, that's what would happen. But I don't do a lot of managed money just because I don't have the heart to charge people when I lose. That's not how I work. And so, even down here, was your broker charging you money? What did they say? They said, stay the course, right? Stay the course and come back. But if you look, it took you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years to get back to where you were. And you weren't even where you were. You were actually much lower than where you were the first 2 years. So you stay the course. But once again, if you got up to here, did your broker say, take the money out? No, because they're making fees. They don't do that. They don't make their money when they tell you, take it out and put it in the bank, unfortunately. By the way, I am one. You know what the definition of a broker is? It's a joke in my industry. You know what it is? It's to make you broker. That's the definition of a broker. They only get paid when you do a transaction. That's the way they work. Now, it took you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and now you're up to 145,000. Did you make money then?
Maybe so.
Maybe so. If you had that smart broker, who I rest in peace, whoever he was. Really, he's a good broker. I wish we could reincarnate him. And they probably didn't say take the money off the table. And it went down. And it went up, and it went down. Well, I gotta tell you folks, I mean, this is getting personal. I'm the bionic man. I don't have a large intestine anymore. And my stomach can't take it, quite frankly. It's been difficult being in this industry, because when I went in this industry, not only because I could make money, but so I could help people. And I gotta tell you, I've given up my book a couple times just because I listened to all those other people. I was that impressionable young person. But as I get older, I'm getting a little bit more wiser, so as to say. And once again, going down and coming up. Now, however, one of the sayings I said in the beginning, that over time, stocks will outperform. And indeed, they did. However, I don't know about you, but I don't have a colon. It hurts my intestines watching it. And listening every day, one day China, the next day the oil, the next day Spain is going under. Now South America. I mean, who knows what is going to go on? The dollar's losing money, the dollar's gaining, gold's going up, silver's going down. I mean, it's all over the place. So, now I'm not saying you should not have some money in here. As I said in the beginning, when I said the Rule 100, maybe you want to have some money in there, but it's not a place to put all your money, especially as I look around the room. I'm not the youngest, and I'm not the oldest, but I got to say, if you're here, you're probably over 50, maybe. And if you are, that means, thank you. I hope I didn't insult anybody. I'm looking, and remember, I wear glasses, so I can't always see as I'm talking. Here you go.
29 and a half.
28. That's what my mother used to say. She says, I'm born February 29th. So she wasn't. That's what she would say. So, anyhow, by the way, is everybody having a good time? I mean, is this a little different? Is this a little crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. I know it. I didn't ask you to write a chapter.
I'll have a good time then.
Well, my job is to not have you lose money. That's my job. My job is not to have you lose money. So anyhow, you see what that's going through, and you see that. So now I'm going to talk about qualified plans. If you could go to the second page, it says retirement plans. Now, does anybody know the limits right now on an IRA that you can put in? 6,500, very good. And if you're over 50. And if you're under 50, 5,500. And same thing with a Roth. Roth is the most greatest invention. Why is it such a great invention? I love Roths. Unfortunately, 80% of the audience can't get a Roth. And you know why you can't get a Roth? Because it's so great, the government, they don't want you to not ever pay taxes. But a Roth, once you put the money in, you didn't write off taxes, but once you put the money in, if you did it correctly, you never pay taxes again. That's a wonderful thing. I mean, the fallacy of everybody is, we've been led to believe as we're kids, defer, and we wake up at some magic age that we're in a lower tax bracket. And we're not. We're not in a lower tax bracket. And does anybody know the limits on a 401k to put in? Very good. It's around there. Well, it actually really depends upon if you're self-employed or if you're part of a company, because there's all these crazy rules going on, and some people know me, I am a pension expert. And if you're self-employed or whatever, I know how to get plans designed that you can hide lots and lots of money. And actually, if you're over 50 right now, and you're self-employed, I can actually show you plans that you can write off $54,000 just in a regular 401k. So if you're eligible for that, and you need to save money, you still can do it for, believe it or not, you can still do that for 2015. I know 2015 has ended, but I know how to get plans enforced that legally from 2015 you can put money in. So if you're that and you want help, please feel free to call me. I'll be happy to help you on this. Okay, now there's two important roles on retirement plans. There's two important ages besides my 70 rule, that I said, I'm sorry, rule of 100 that I said I gave part of the way. Okay, what is it? What age is one important age? Is 59 and a half. Does anybody know what 59 and a half is?
Because you can withdraw money,
Without taxes. Thank you. Very good. She's right. You can do 59. By the way, you can do it early, but you got to know how. Without the 10% penalty. You can do that. You can take it out, and if some of you need to get money before you're age 59 and a half, because you're divorced, or you're this, or you're that, or you just need money, I can tell you how you can take money out before age 59 and a half and help you out there if you so desire. Now, 59 and a half is another relevance. You know what that is? You are allowed, on many plans, to do what's called an in-service withdrawal. That means you could be working for ECHN, which is the hospital chain, and you could go and say, and contact somebody like me, and we could do an in-service withdrawal, and you can still stay in the plan. You don't have to move all your money, you can move part of your money. And most people don't realize that, because one of the big problems with employer plans is that you don't control the investments. Yeah, they might give you a choice of investing in certain ones, but retirement plans are loaded with fees. I mean, it's so loaded that the government's trying to shut all the people down in my industry from giving advice in there because it's so loaded with fees. There's so many fees, nobody, I know where all the fees are. There's a lot of fees, believe me. And they hide them in TPA fees, they hide them in asset fees, they hide them in the fees that the broker charges, they hide them in the mutual fund or the ETF fees. Everything has a price in that marketplace. So that's what they do with retirement. So 59 and a half is two reasons. One is you can take the money out and not have to pay the 10% penalty. And two is if you indeed have a 401k or some type of retirement plan or a 403b with a sponsor, and many plans have the option to do an in-service withdrawal. And by the end of the night, maybe you might want me to help you with something like that. Now, there's another important age. Does anybody know what that is in retirement plans? 70 and a half. Thank you. 70 and a half. It is called the RMD date. Now, it really, I get this all the time. You're laughing, so you must have heard this one. It's amazing how many people come to me and they say, Paul, I'm waiting for the RMD date. I mean, I think, what do they do? Do they have a magic phone that calls the IRS to say, hey, I'm in a low tax bracket at 7 and a half? I'm here to tell you, if you hate paying taxes that much, that you're waiting for the RMD date, you're gonna hate it even more at age 75 and 80, especially if you're successful in investing in that. You're going to hate it even more when you've got to pay more taxes. Most brokers in my industry don't understand that that RMD amount does not stay level. It goes up every year because you're supposed to deplete that account. You say, yes, there you go. And I got to tell you, there is nobody that has that magic bell that you go in a lower tax bracket either. You just don't. I mean, the people that got it, keep it. And now here's another thing that most people don't understand. It wasn't always like this, but all of a sudden, the government's got to make money. We got to make money to do the wars, we got to make the money for the infrastructure, there's just so much welfare programs and many education programs. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but they got to fund it. So now all of a sudden, it wasn't always like this, Social Security is taxable if you're at certain amounts. Well, I happen to be an expert at helping people eliminate those taxes when they're in the Social Security age, because there's certain types of investments that you can do that will not hurt your income taxes and pay income taxes on that money. So, now, once again, in your 401k, your formula is determined basically by the participation in the company, and how much you make, and how much everybody else is doing, and also the way that the employer designed the plan. And most times employers don't design the plan for the employees, at least the smart ones that run a business. They design the plan so that they can benefit. That's what they do. So let's talk about some of the retirement plan issues. The biggest one is too much risk and too much fees. That is the biggest risk of retirement plans. And you know what? As I said before, you can be diversified by saying you've got 5, 6 different accounts, but if they all go up at the same time and they all go down, you're not diversified. That's not what diversification means. And so let's give some different types of investments. You know, there's different investments that also have fees. Now, there are some clients in here that have some products from me, and what is the saying? The saying is, fees are important in the absence of value. And what does that mean? Fees are important in the absence of value. If you're getting a value, if you're getting something out of it that you need, that's fine. Well, in my industry, unfortunately, there's a number of people, and you know, passing Series 7 and Series 6 is very difficult, but there's a lot of people out there that they sell everybody the same product and everything, and a lot of them talk about something called a variable annuity. Now, a variable annuity does have a place for some people. It does have a place for some people. And as people may know, they do have fees. They have fees for mortality, they have fees for the investment, and some of them are managed money accounts where each year you're paying relatively less than you paid in the first year, but that's to pay the broker. So yeah, but they do have value. Some of them have value, and if indeed you have a variable annuity, I'd be happy to go over that and find out what it is. Now the problem is most people in the industry don't understand taxation. They don't understand about how it is, and I'm a master of the taxation and everything. So that is what it is. So the things that you need to know is on a variable annuity, a number of people say it's guaranteed. Well, the investment account is not guaranteed. That's why it's named variable. There might be riders or benefits in there that if you have an income benefit that says your income can't go down or whatever, but if you were to cash it out, it could be lower or whatever. So variable means that it could have some risk. And that's a problem with some people, if it wasn't done in the right purposes or whatever. So, let me talk to you about a possible solution. What, you can turn the page, please. What if you had a product out there that when the market went up, your investment went up. When the market went down, your investment stayed the same. When the market went sideways, you stayed the same. Sounds good, huh? Sounds like something that everybody would want to have. Okay? Now, there are products that are offered by insurance companies that protect you. And they have these products out there. Now, not all of them are created equal in these products. You know, and you insure your life for life insurance, you insure your life for health insurance, you insure your house, you insure your car. Why shouldn't your retirement plan be insured? Any reason? No. Okay. I'm going to take you out a second chart. Now, by the way, if some of you said, you know, when we started talking about just the what the bank's rates are, and some of you might say, I don't like to hear about this market, I don't want any risk, I just want to get better than the banks. Indeed, I do have an account that right now, if you wanted to get 3% and you had 5 years on you, I can give you an account that 5 years, 3% guaranteed. So if you want that, but I'm not going to be talking about that. And that is, and so here's this blue line, and you know what this blue line is? This is exactly that. It's a hypothetical 3% return, and basically CDs over the longest period of time. That's what they've averaged. You know, so you can get those type of things, and this is. And I want to show you something. You know, you look at that same 100 grand, same amount of years, and you'll notice that 3 years later, they're crossing. When that investment came down, they're crossing. And if they were like me, they still have their intestines, and they have that. And even when it went down, they still have their money. And some people want that. I like that. And when it went all the way down, they still have their money. And when it went up, it took many years. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to equal what you could have put in a bank account from our experience in 1998 to now. And then, okay, market went up, The red line, they made more money. And by the way, red line could also include like real estate. I mean, we've all seen, especially in West Hartford, prices go up, prices go down. Right now they're down a little bit. You know, we've seen that happen. And I'm talking about mainly risky investments. And by the way, I do believe in real estate and I own a number of properties and whatever. But like the market, it's going up and it's going down, etc. And then you'll notice that, again, it crossed. And it wasn't until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years that somebody had their money in the market that just bought an index fund. There are index funds that mimic the S&P 500, would have reached what they did just having their money in the bank.
Without all that stress.
You said it. You said it. Exactly. Exactly. And by the way, it did outperform. So, once again, if you had a product that when the market went up, you went up. When the market went down, you stayed the same. When the market went sideways, you stayed the same. Wouldn't you want to know about it? Well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. So, please, Roger. How are we doing for time?
We're good.
I need more than that.
5 to 7.
Okay. I tried time it, but it's hard, you know, because you laugh, you joke, you this, you that. It's very hard to time. Okay. So this green line is exactly what I'm talking about. This is a, if somebody can read, this is a particular indexed annuity. Now, before you all go crazy, annuity! I heard all these bad things about annuities. And yeah, there are some. And they're all different. There are some good and there are some bad. And we'll go over what's good and what's bad. But in this case, in that first 2 years, it didn't reach what the market did, what the stock market did. It didn't reach the red line. However, when that red line started going down and the market started going down, it stayed the same. And when the market started going up, it went up too. And once again, went up, went up, went up. And remember, I said, over time, stocks will beat everything. That's what we were led to believe. And paying fees is normal, right? And that stayed the course. Well, this is an example, you might not at different times earn more than the stock, depending on if you're that disciplined to take out. And you notice that over this time, this whole period of time to 2015 and 2016, by the way, because, by the way, does anybody know how far down the stock market is from January 1st?
About 9%.
9% is right. Very good. It's a little less today because it went up a little bit. But yeah, you're right, about 9%. I can't afford 9% losses personally. I don't know about you. I can't stand it. I hate losing money. I hate going to casinos. I don't know if it's from my faith of being Jewish or something that I hate losing money, but I hate losing money. I hate losing money. I can't stand it. I can't go to a casino. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I hate losing. I don't like betting. I don't like any of this. And that's what being in the market is. It's like being in a casino these days. Because it's not only controlled by you, it's controlled by big institutions and machines. The machines that are automatic. That if this goes here, that goes there, and they trade and they this. And I've seen times, I experienced 1987, and I got to tell you, I was a really hurting dude in 87. I was that year before, I earned my age times 10. I was only 33 at that time. I remember, and the next year I could have declared bankruptcy because of the market. And I was led to believe like everybody else was led to believe. But you know what? I don't do that anymore. I don't do that for my clients. I don't put them in risky investments because I don't believe in them. I can't give losses. I just can't do it. So here's this green line, etc. So let's talk about it. And so each fixed index annuity is different. But anyway, I got to look at my notes because I forget. I got to keep myself on time. So just excuse me. But there's two catches. Nothing is perfect, right? There's nothing that's just great. I don't know. Does anybody have a car that everything about it's great? It's great gas mileage, it's efficient, goes in the snow, it's beautiful, it doesn't cost much. Does anybody have a car like that?
No.
I actually do. I got an old Subaru. The daggone thing goes through everything. It's like bulletproof. And People laugh at me. Why? You got all this money. Why you buy a Subaru? Because the thing works. You know, it works. It goes through snow. And it doesn't cost much. You don't have to pay $1,000 every time you go to shop. You know, I'm not in. As I told you, I'm not into wearing $500 suits and $250 shoes. And it's not me. I'm just regular folk. You know. So the two catches are: one, they have caps. What is a cap in an index annuity? The cap is the maximum you can make in that year, and it's set by the insurance companies. Now, since the insurance companies are very competitive with each other because they're fighting to get dollars, they're fighting to get money in, that they move in tandem pretty much, and they're pretty similar, but they're not all the same. So the cap, that's one of the problems of it. So let's imagine you have a 10% cap, and the market goes up by 12%. Does anybody know how much you would make? 10%. That's right. If the market goes to 5%, how much would you make? 5%. You got it. Okay. If the market goes -5, I'm sure you can guess this. Do you know what that would be? It would stay the same.